everyone, and welcome. So excited to be another Wednesday morning. I love Wednesday mornings because of 1 million cups. Who is here for the first time? Well, welcome. We're glad to have you. Who in the audience would you consider yourself to be an entrepreneur? Awesome. Welcome to the team. Well, we're so excited about our two different presenters today, and we want to welcome Innovate today, Colton and Nathan. So take it away.
Is it working? Okay. So we are Innovate today. My name is Nathan. His name is Clayton, and we are the co-founders. And we're here to talk about our business and an event that we're actually bringing to Springfield. So just a little bit about what we do. We actually host startup events for college students. And what's so cool about these events, if you don't know what a startup event is, we're actually helping students start a business, but we're doing it in less than a day.
We found a way to do these events and give college students hands-on experience, starting a business and going through the process of taking an idea and making it real. And another issue we noticed is a lack of community engagement between college students and the general community. So we're trying to break that barrier. To solve these problems, we started with a pilot event in Kansas City last April. We took college students to a few accelerators in the Kansas City area, and we had students from 8 universities and 17 different majors. And throughout the day, they worked and created these businesses solving local civic issues in Kansas City. And we had one girl from Rockhurst tell us that she learned more in that single day than she had in her first 2 years at Rockhurst. So it was this feedback that really showed us, we were onto something and could do a lot with it.
Right, so here's just some roadblocks that we've gone through. Since starting the pilot event, we started Innovate Today back in September. And just some roadblocks since then. We had to go through rebranding already. And if any of you have done that, it's not fun. And then we've also had some marketing problems. The only experience either of us have with actual marketing for a business is I did some back in high school when I helped manage a company, but it wasn't anything like starting from a brand new company. And then on top of that, credibility, since we both are 20 years old, and this is our first entrepreneurial endeavor, some people look at us and think, oh, you guys might be a little too young to do this. We're here to prove you wrong. So, like I said, we're bringing an event to Springfield, and I'm going to show you guys sort of what the startup event looks like, how the day is run. So, like other startup events, all students are categorized into one of 3 categories. You either have the hustler, who is the business-minded entrepreneurial student. They help to run the product. You have the hacker, who is either a tech guru, engineer, just someone that can make the physical product or service. And then you also have the hipster, who's the artsy, eye for design. They help promote the product. And with those 3 types of students, they form a team. And those teams will actually compete at the end of the day to see who has the most sustainable and feasible business. And how we do that is we have 3 guest speakers throughout the day, one on business ideology, another one on lead model thinking, and then another one on how to give a business presentation. And those 3 speakers, along with mentors, will help them guide their ideas into a feasible and sustainable business throughout the rest of the day. And all of this leads up to the business presentations at the end of the day, which is why you guys are so important. We don't have judges. Like we said, we wanted to improve community engagement, and we thought the best way to do that was to have you guys judge. So the community will actually be coming in, watching the students give their business presentations, and at the end of that, they will be going out into an expo, and then the community will invest with Venture Bucks, the business that they believe is the most feasible and sustainable. And then the winner for our Springfield event will actually receive 3 months of co-working space thanks to Originate, and will receive a month of brand consulting thanks to Revel Advertising.
So the event we're bringing, Innovate Springfield, will be actually here at the E-Factory on January 30th. On everyone's chair, I think there's a little flyer that says the date and location, so if you guys are interested, please check out the website. We have one of our guest speakers, just to give you guys a little sneak peek. We have Andre Truttle, who is the Director of Capital Markets at UMB Bank. I'm just going to keep the other two a secret, little surprise the day of. So this event is only $20 for participants, and you get 3 meals, an awesome t-shirt that we designed, and just a priceless experience and networking opportunity that most people don't get access to. For this event, we also have a hashtag down here, hashtag InnovateSGF, to get everyone in the competitive spirit. Whoever gets the most retweets using this hashtag by January 31st will receive a $50 Visa gift card. So please tweet as much as possible. We need the help. And I just want to give a big thank you to our main sponsors here, Park East, Commerce Bank, Originate, and the E-Factory. This would not be possible without everything they've done for us and the support they've given us. And we want to thank all the sponsors that aren't listed here, but like Brick and Mortar Coffee will be keeping us caffeinated for the day. So we need that.
So here's what you guys can do. First off, we need connections, not just connections in Missouri, but we'd love to grow this outside of Missouri. So if you guys have any strong connections in other cities that maybe you were raised in, that would help us a lot. Connections to possible guest speakers. Again, those guest speakers would be like how to give a business presentation, business ideology, lean model thinking, or mentors. We could also use your help promoting the event since this is new to Springfield. Any promotion would help. Please attend Innovate Springfield. Again, like I said, this event can only be maximized if the community is engaged with the event as well. You can register on our website at www.innovatetoday.co. And like I said, it's free. You'll just sign up on Eventbrite. The link is on our website. And then if anyone in here is interested, you're more than welcome to sponsor a future event. It's a great way to show college students that you guys care about their entrepreneurial endeavors, and who knows, you guys might be looking at a future marketer or tech guy to help your own business later on in the future. So here's our contact information. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and make sure to use the hashtag. Thanks.
All right, good job, guys. Now, this is the part where we open it up to questions, feedback. If you guys have a question, raise your hand, and one of the organizers will bring you a microphone. I'm kind of curious. I'm seeing more and more of these types of things sprout up, and I'm guilty of not really fully researching what each one is and what their unique offering is. But I'm curious, as you guys are getting into this kind of space, what does the competition look like out there? Have you guys kind of researched? Are there national groups that are doing these types of things already, regional?
So there's Startup Weekend, which I think a lot of people know about here. And that's a 3-day startup event, but it's for anyone of all ages. So we're different, in that we only allow college students to actually participate. And then we just have various differences from all the competition.
How do you plan to get college students involved? And have you thought about the pricing to maybe do like 2 students, it's $30 or something, so that maybe a student who might be interested would think to bring a friend? And then also, what about partnering with student organizations or departments? Where does that all kind of fit in?
Right. So our main form of marketing, fortunately, Park East, one of our sponsors, they are a student housing group, and they own 3 apartments downtown, all student housing. So it's really great to have them as a sponsor because they're helping us sort of market to all the residences that they have there. But one of the main things that we're doing, fortunately, universities are extremely supportive of us. They love our event. Missouri State, Drury, and Evangel have all allowed us to speak in their classrooms. So that's one of the ways that we're marketing to the students. And then on top of that, we put flyers on the campuses, and we're in the student unions talking to students. that will be coming up within the next couple weeks. Oh, and then I like the $30 for 2 students idea as well. We have not thought of that.
So what do your sponsorships look like? You've mentioned a couple different sponsors, and does that come in different forms? So maybe sometimes it's a space, sometimes it's free coffee. Have you ever thought about having sponsors cover that cost for the students so it's 100% free?
We've kind of thought about it, but we haven't gone to people yet and said they could sponsor students. We're thinking about going to universities and saying they could sponsor, 10 kids from their university to show up, but most people sponsor, like E-Factor gave space, Brick and Mortar's giving coffee, so it's sometimes money, but oftentimes a free service.
And to answer your other question, yes, we do have like different levels of sponsorship. So our lowest level is something that even a new startup could get involved in, because part of the thing with community engagement and the startup community, we want the startups to be able to say like, hey, like we're very supportive. We'd like college students to join us. We'd like to show college students that our community is very startup friendly. So we have like small levels and large levels. So yes, we do have separate levels of sponsorship.
Good morning. My name is Michael Hansen. I see that Nathan goes to MSU and Clayton goes to UMKC. How did you two meet and come up with this?
We grew up in St. Charles together, yeah. A few minutes away from each other. And rival high schools.
Hi, guys. I'm right here.
Where are you?
Right here. Two questions. First question is, you're talking about students coming in, and you've got 3 different categories. Do you have any students coming in as a team already pre-composed? And another question is how do you compare and contrast what you're doing with like what Enactus does on campuses?
So I was actually an Enactus student at UMKC, and this event we're doing is more like helping these students start their businesses and could possibly make a profit, whereas Enactus, these students aren't allowed to create a business and profit based on whatever you're doing as part of Enactus. And I'm sorry, what was your first question? Slipped my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go.
So when they apply, like if anyone here has done Startup Weekend, the application process isn't that long. With ours, it's not that it's lengthy, but we try to get a little bit more idea of what you're like. So you can sign up with friends and you'll be in that group. But if you sign up by yourself, we actually have like different categories that we look at, and we try to match you up with other people that will make your business the most successful, whatever it is you decide to do.
It sounds like your classes are sort of to help people develop their idea for a business, but I think that a lot of students don't have an idea for a business that they'd like to start. And so do you have a process for helping them develop that?
Like that's, in the beginning of the day, we have people speaking on like ideology and lean model thinking and kind of moonshot thinking and thinking outside the box. And if people come without ideas, we're talking to them about local civic issues that maybe would be good to focus on. So we give students kind of like this is an idea of where you could start, and they could take that or not, but that's up to them.
I know I look like a young, hip college student, but are people that are not students invited to attend? And if we attend, what kind of business ideas are generated? I'd be curious to know what comes out of a day like this.
So by college student, you have to have a valid college ID. So if there's someone in here that's 30 and decided to start college again, technically speaking, you've been into that realm. But as far as the event actually goes, we're very exclusive to college students. You will have to show your college ID when you show up to participate in the actual business creation of the event, to be a part of a team. But like I said, the community portion, we really need people to come in, and the community role is just as important. We need people to, these are students that you guys could be hiring within the next 2 to 4 years. and it's good to see their ideas. These could be potential businesses that will be a thing next year. They could be presenting here. So, did that answer your question?
I have, from our pilot in Kansas City, we had the winning team came up with a backstory. There's a lot of food deserts in Kansas City, which a food desert, for those of you who don't know, is someone who lives in an area that's less than like 10 miles from a grocery store, place to buy actual food. So the winning team leveraged technology and finding a way to help aid people who are living in food deserts and maybe don't have cars or can't afford to travel far to get food. So it's kind of mainly those ideas, but there's a wide range of.
Yeah, so like the answer to I believe his question, we try to if they don't have a business idea, we will have like sort of a presentation on problems in that city that they could focus on working on. And Kansas City, most of the teams stuck to that, and they tried to fix problems that were in Kansas City, but we don't require that. So you could see anything, but hopefully it's things that could improve the Springfield community.
Is there like a Facebook group or something that the students then join afterwards? Maybe the students and mentors where they then further discuss ideas or you get further feedback? Or is that something that your students would even be interested in?
I definitely think they would be interested, and we have not thought of that, so thank you.
I'm not sure about the timing of the day, but I guess, hearing what Gary was saying, I'd really encourage you to have either a luncheon or a time where business owners and community leaders could attend those presentations, because I think the students would find that really valuable, and then people who are genuinely interested, what a great platform for those students to have other people there. So I think maybe
definitely
look for that opportunity.
I know for lunch, we have like a Meet the Sponsors lunch where the companies that have sponsored will actually come in, and you'll get to network with them. You'll get to network with the mentors and the speakers, not really in the sense that they're guiding you, but just as like a normal networking event. But we haven't thought about opening it up to the rest of the community. I'm sure we could talk about that. And I'm in Springfield currently, so I'll be here next week, and if we decide on something, I'll be sure to let everyone know.
And to clarify, community does go to the presentations and they're part of the voting, so
right.
You will get to network with the students at that time and see what they did throughout the 12 hours before you guys showed up.
What's the long-term goal as far as profitability, and have you thought about partnering up with colleges and hosting it there?
We do not want to partner with colleges just because some colleges with the whole property rights stuff, we don't really want to get into that. And then on top of that, accelerators actually seem to be more willing to sponsor the event space than universities. Universities are very supportive if they don't have to do anything. And then what was there another part to your question? Yeah.
So I think we consider ourselves more as social entrepreneurs with this venture, where we're not trying to make a lot of money, and it's not really about that. I think even this is a learning experience for us. Starting this business from nothing is priceless. So we're just going to be broke college kids forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're going to have fun along the way.
So it looks like over here we have a big group of high school students, am I right? Or are you guys all in college? Okay, so I gotta ask, what has kept you from making it, why did you make it only college students instead of college and high school? What made you close the gap so tight?
Yeah, so we wanted to do college students. First off, we're not opposed to opening it up to high school students at some point, but it's just us two. We don't have the manpower to market to college and high schools. So we're just doing college students at this point. And on top of that, unfortunately, a lot of high schools, there's no way, or I'm not really aware of a way to target the business students or people that would be... Right, we've thought about those. We're mainly just targeting the GoCaps program right now. So like we're trying to open it up, but it's going to be a slow process on the high school level because we just don't have the manpower for that.
So I know you said you did a pilot program in Kansas City. So do you have plans to continue doing it in Kansas City and Springfield? Or are you just trying to move to Springfield only?
Yeah, so we have our Springfield event January 30th, and then we have our St. Louis event February 27th, and then we will be going back to Kansas City on April 9th.
So a lot of startup companies, a lot of entrepreneurs come through here, and this is like something they're doing in addition to their 9-to-5 job, or what's actually taking up a bulk of their time. So I'm curious, what's life look like for you guys outside of Innovate today?
So I'll break down this week for you guys. I work at a financial technology startup in Kansas City as well as this. So I had to drive down here Monday to do a practice presentation here, and I had to drive back to Kansas City so I could work Tuesday. I had to come back here this morning to work here, and after this I'm going back to Kansas City to work. So dealing with these two businesses in cities 3 hours apart has been very demanding, to say the least, but
fortunately I live here.
Yeah.
But my end, I'm a student at Missouri State, sophomore. I'm also president of an organization there. So scheduling is tight. Last semester was worse because I was doing 18 credits, but this semester is just 12 credits, so I'm getting by.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
So, with your schedule and wanting to grow this, you know, I would think larger all the time. How are you finding people in cities and regions where you want to start these that can basically do it for you? How you can lead them to do their own?
We're trying to figure out a way to really, I guess, leverage connections so that we don't have to be as hands-on in the planning process. But for now, like, we just started with 3 cities we're well connected in, and hopefully after, you know, we gain traction and brand recognition, it becomes easier to get help in other cities.
Great.
Do we have any other questions, feedback?
So if you look around the room, there are a number of people that help to organize Startup Weekend, like Jeremy and a couple others that I probably can't see right now, but I know that they're in here. So you talked about manpower. What stopped you from bringing on other organizers to help you reach high school students or possibly other cities to help this grow a lot faster?
Quite frankly, we don't want that. We're trying to keep everything as close to our vision as possible. So we're not looking for volunteers other than for the day of the event. If we're looking for people, we want people that would be dedicated to Innovate today and believe in what we're doing, which I know a lot of other people would like to focus on the millions of things that they're doing. So that's why.
Nathan, Clayton, great job, guys. One more question here, and then we'll...
That's one. It's really sad. I came in kind of late here, but this is awesome. As a professional development coach and life coach, I'm actually a partner. It's awesome that you guys are really focusing on it. And you said something earlier that we as old people can't miss. We can't miss. It can't be about the money. It has to be about the passion. So are there any college students in here? Okay, I'm going to pay you $20. I'm going to pay us $20, and I challenge other business members to do the same thing because we have to stop just talking about what we're going to do. So I'm going to pay you $20 for the event. And that's not just about, we have to be there for our young people. And any assistance I can do, I would love to help you out anywhere I can. And I'm new to Springfield, so I'm a certified life coach. So this is amazing. So
awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll talk after this.
All right, so Nathan, Clayton, great job. The question we always wrap this up with is, what can we as a community do to help you guys?
Help us get connected with as many awesome people as possible. Anyone who's experienced in entrepreneurship and, you know, seems like a really cool person that can help mentor, speak, or even sponsor, please. Promoting the event with our hashtag would be phenomenal, and just attending, showing up to our events.
Which is January 30th. Doors open at 6:30 for everyone.
Great. Thank you, guys.
All right, so we've got some announcements for you guys today. First of all, quick shout out to Parkview High School business students, right? What organization are you guys with? What? DECA, awesome. So Arianna Russell has been working with them on some kind of coaching and things of that nature and invited them to come out, and here they are. So quick shout out. Some other quick announcements. We want to thank the 1 Million Cups sponsors. Starting with Brick and Mortar Coffee. Thank you guys for catering the coffee. eFactory for housing us. Emerald Images. Thank you for all the help with the social media. And then we have CL Video, Chris Lynn in the back who captures the video from this event. Can we flicker the lights here or something? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, guys. And then finally, Database, Apple Premier Partner. Also, we have some announcements up here from other local organizations. So bring your eyes up here, and the contact info for these groups are up here as well. I did want to call out that 1 Million Cups does have some internship opportunities available to community members in the areas of audio, video, as well as social media. So if you guys know of anybody who's interested in helping out with any of those areas with 1 Million Cups, please send them our way. Have them contact us via the Facebook page. All right, so this next person is probably not a stranger to very many of you. We're very excited to hear from Arianna Russell and get an update on Bodacious Cases.
All right, so is this working? Can you hear me? Okay. Hello, my name is Arianna Russell, and I'm the inventor, owner, and CEO of a company called Bodacious Cases, and we're a 100% made in America cell phone case and accessories company. So our case is called the Bandit case. How many of you guys are familiar with it? All right. So it's not just a case, our product, it is your emergency case. It can, in the back, there's a hidden compartment where you can hide emergency cash, an emergency Band-Aid, and a copy of your insurance card. Then on the back, there's a built-in credit card slot that can hold an ID, 2 credit cards, an insurance card, your hunting license, fishing license, or gun permit, or up to 8 business cards. So that works for everybody in here, right? We all mostly carry business cards? So with our case, you can match your style. As you see, my case matches my shirt. That's also 100% made in America. And so whether you're professional, stylish, active, tough, or you like the outdoors, and we do live in the Midwest, so we all there's a lot of hunters out there. So this is me testing my product, and we don't recommend that you do this at all. But I like to put my phone through lots, so you can see the durability and the water resistantness, and yeah. Hit it with a croquet mallet, you carry those around every day. Let my nephew step on it and throw it against a tree. Toss it on concrete. Kind of fun, but don't try it, please. So where are we at since I presented last year in 2015? What we're working on right now is getting together some packets so that we can work on getting purchase orders, letter of intents, and athlete endorsements. We're also looking to liquidate all of our current inventory for the iPhone 4, 4S, 5, and 5S. And we are wanting to try to find one person or one business and company to try to buy all of that just to liquidate it and get it out. And so we're needing help from different people to try to find that one person or business that can buy all of that from us. So right now we're trying to find the right investor, and we were kind of at that spot last year if any of you guys were at that presentation. But so with that capital that we're trying to raise, we're needing $200,000, and that money will be used so that we can expand to the iPhone 7 and Samsung Galaxy S7. Our suggested retail price is $49.95 on the product, and that includes the case, which is 2-piece, and then the interchangeable band. So if I wanted to change it to a black or green or purple or whatever I wanted to, I can do that. The wholesale price starts at $14.99, and once we get that funding and we get the product started, when the iPhone 7 and Samsung Galaxy S7 launch, we'll send that product within 2 months. So kind of what's the difference between the current product and the new product once we get funding. The new product's going to have stronger ports on the side, a softer on and off button. It's going to add an extra layer of protection on the front and the back on the inside, so whenever you drop it, it's going to help protect it even more than it already does. Doesn't mean you can throw it like I did, but it's going to have a softer home button, and there's a security lever on the back, and it's going to have a stronger security lever. So the security lever, the purpose of that is so whenever you only have 1 or 2 cards in there, it holds it secure in place. So if you just have 1 or 2, you're not going to lose your cards. So for those of you, if you guys go to clubs or just not go to clubs, business meetings work too. So what's the smartphone, the market size? So for smartphone accessories in 2012, it was at $20 billion, and it's estimated to go to $38 billion by 2017. So it's a pretty big market. So since we've launched in 2012, we have grossed over $165,000 in sales on the iPhone 4, 4S, 5, and 5S. So 3 products. Oh. Here's just a little video. So we kind of like to have fun, if you can't tell. So I get asked all the time, all right, no ponies buying today. But, sorry. So we get asked all the time why it's important for me to stay made in America versus going overseas to China, where obviously I can get my product made a lot cheaper and make a lot more. Does everybody agree with that? Okay. So that's my dad, Mike. Daddy, raise your hand. Yeah, he hates when I do that. Sorry. But that's my dad. He's a double Purple Heart Vietnam veteran. And for anybody who knows me, knows that like, whoa, sorry, hits me home. And I've always, since I was a young kid, actually kind of like Adeline. She's wearing red, white, and blue. My niece, sorry, not my kid. But it means a lot to me for what my dad and people who serve do to make it possible for me to stay in here. Because if it wasn't for people like my dad and those who serve and protect us for our freedom, I wouldn't have the choice, maybe, to be able to stay in here and say, hey, I'm made in America. Thank you. So, because it's not easy. If any of you guys have tried to make something in America, it's definitely, there's a lot of roadblocks, but it's, you know, more about, it's obviously got to be about money, but to me it's more about staying true to my values and who I am and not giving in to what everybody else wants me to do. Maybe? It broke. Technical difficulties. There we go. Thank you. So what do we need right now? Kind of a recap. We are trying to liquidate all of our product, so we need help getting purchase orders, letter of intents, and athlete endorsements. We've got retailers that have contacted us. We've got several professional athletes and big-time people that want to be involved, but it all takes money. So from now until the end of the month, until January 31st, that is not the last day, 31st, is on all orders for purchase orders or letter of intents over $5,000, we're going to take 5% off of the total purchase order, which is quite a substantial amount. But we're needing to find that right investor that can help us get to the next level. So we're trying to find the $200,000 so that we can expand to the iPhone 7 and Samsung Galaxy S7. If that doesn't happen, then on Valentine's Day, Bo and I are going to break up with Bodacious Cases and kind of go our separate ways. And for all of you guys that know me know that I don't quit and I don't want to see this company not succeed. And so I'm hoping with everybody in the community and that we can kind of come together and maybe get those things above the helping us liquidate the product, find the right investor so we can expand and fill all the orders that we are needing to do.
Awesome.
My contact information is down at the bottom. And again, my name is Arianna Russell, and I'm the inventor, owner, and CEO of Bodacious Cases. Thanks.
Thank you, Arianna. We love your excitement and your energy. And I know once you started Bodacious Cases, you had quite a bit of notoriety with the news. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. So in 2012, whenever I launched the company on the 4th of July, which is kind of a good day for us, I got an email about 2 or 3 months after I launched from a producer from ABC World News. Well, I thought it was junk, and I told my mom, I was like, I don't have time, I'm worried, trying to focus on making a company that everybody doubted me that I could even keep my product made in America, and I was like, I don't have time to deal with all of this junk. So I almost deleted it. Yeah, thank God I didn't, because Mom wouldn't let me. But yeah, so that was on Friday, and the producer called and asked me lots of questions, interviewed me for about 30 minutes, and then that was Friday. Within 2 hours, David Muir and the producer had their flights booked to come to St. Louis, which is where the product was manufactured at, and they came on Monday, so no time to prepare. And then on Wednesday, it aired for the first time on ABC World News. And within less than a minute, our website crashed, and because so many people were going to it.
Wow. Yeah. Well, cool. I'm excited. And we'll open up for more questions as well. We have one right here.
Hi, Arianna. This is a great idea. I have a similar case, but it doesn't have the security strap on it, so that's a very good addition to your case. But I wondered, have you thought about adding the RFID protection since it has credit cards in it? And another question, this seems like it'd be a great product to market in a kiosk at the mall.
Yes.
Or any mall.
So to answer both questions is, yes, we've considered that. I have a lot of things on the to-do list of other products that I want to add with Bodacious Cases, but it all takes money. So we're focused right now on the $200,000 to expand the 2 products. And then later, depending on who the right investor is, we could add that right away, but it's going to take money. So yes, and then as far as kiosks, again, kind of goes back to the limited budget. Excuse me. So money. But yes, so we can also, something that I didn't mention, is we can actually put logos on the back of our cases. The camouflage case that we have is actually real photos taken from our Missouri Century Farm in Ozark, which is where we're headquartered at. And those are real pictures on the front and back. Most of them are digitized only on the back. And so we can do that with different designs or logos or charities or businesses or anything like that. Online only. Right now, we're in some retail stores, but we just haven't had the money to fill the product orders, or not product orders, I'm sorry, the people wanting to purchase, because I had some issues with manufacturing that I wasn't taking purchase orders just because of some stuff that happened, and I almost lost 15 retail stores, so. No, that is what we're gonna work on.
Are you liquidating your inventory because you're trying to raise capital or because you've got a design improvement? And I guess my question is, there have to be a lot of people out there that are going to have older phones that may want your product.
Yes, so yes to both. We are doing it to raise capital so that we don't have to close our doors if we don't find the right investor. Otherwise, on Valentine's Day, we'll break up. And then the other part, because of the improvements. Because it's a great product now. Obviously, I can throw it and it hasn't broke yet, knock on wood. But I want to get that new product with the new improvements out there.
I'm just curious about what it costs you to make one of these phone cases.
So right now, it is around $850 to $1,050 because we do a single cavity injection mold, which means it produces one back at a time. Then they have to take the tool apart and put the front in and take that apart. It takes 2 hours every time they change it. So the price is a lot more expensive. And so with that capital, the $200,000, we'll get a 2-cavity or 4-cavity mold, which will produce 2 or 4 at a time which is going to take the cost from here and drop it to here, which means higher profit margins.
Just to clarify, did you say that you can take custom images and put them on the backs of your cases?
Yes, so you have a Chicago Bulls hoodie, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we can do red back, black front, and a white band. And if we had the legal rights to Chicago Bulls, we can put their logo right there.
Okay, well, my actual question would be, have you thought to maybe market to organizations such as, I know personally, my FBLA chapter, we're actually trying to find a phone case that we can put our logo on it and sell it within our school. Have you thought to maybe partner with any organizations like that?
Yes. We have a list of, and this is kind of where it goes next, is because I'm only one person, and unfortunately with only 24 hours in the day, that I can't do everything that I want to. And we have a Excel spreadsheet of literally every high school, every university, and about the top 200 or 300 charities in the country that we have all the contact we need. We just need somebody to help get the graphics, help get the stuff done. It's 90% done. We've kind of auto-generated our own software kind of inside of Photoshop to where, like, with clicks of buttons, you can change the case colors and save it as a PDF, and it goes to that charity, but it just takes time. And so yes, but again, we'll get there, hopefully.
Hi, Arianna.
Hello.
Is this working? Thank you. It's so nice to see a great product. So I very much respect your Made in America angle and totally see it as a competitive advantage. But if it were the case that you could potentially not break up with Bo on Valentine's Day by taking the business elsewhere, would you consider that just for the sake of the business? Certainly, you know, a good business in America is fantastic, but a good business that could come back to America at some point or experience some further growth down the road is also a very good thing.
Yes, so I've thought a lot about that, and that's kind of why the last year it's taken me, because I'm not a quitter, I'm not the type that gives in, and I don't want to, it's really hard to say yes or no, because if I had an investor who was like, hey, I'll give you the $200,000, but we'll maybe expand 3 product line or 4, only if you go overseas. 99% know that I wouldn't go overseas just because that's from day one. I wouldn't have got on ABC if I was overseas. I wouldn't be able to go to the manufacturer and talk to people at Nixa whenever I was manufacturing there. I found out were my cousins. I had no idea that they even existed. So it's kind of cool. And you get a different experience by having the product made here. So I'm 99% against, I would rather stay true to my values and who I am instead of just give in because, oh, hey, I'll make a lot more money or this or that, because that's just not who I am. But that 1%, I don't know. So no, mostly. That I would not take my product overseas. I would rather close and take what I've learned as far as inventing a product, because I had no experience inventing a product whenever I came up with this idea, which happened to be on the 4th of July also, and in a hot tub. And so. Most people say that's a bad business move, but sorry.
What ideas do you have for athlete endorsements so far?
What ideas? So I can't give names, but there's a very well-known person that may or may not be on Shark Tank that one of his business partners reached out to me about a year ago, and he endorses several professional athletes in Kansas City, Philadelphia, several different places. And we're looking at doing where we partner with different retailers around the country, and whenever they're playing games in those areas, do autograph signings at the retail stores, and only people can get autographs and meet the players if they buy our Bodacious case. That's some of the things. And then some of the other things are, if they don't want to do that part, they could maybe, hey, let's put their logo on it and we'll donate a certain % to most athletes who are involved with charities. Take a % or dollar amount of the product and give it to that charity. So that's a way of cross-promoting their team, their colors, and their charities. So it's kind of a win-win, because I like giving back. That's kind of, fun.
I actually have two questions.
Yeah.
One, how much volume do you have to move
with the liquidation? How much do you have left that you need to sell? And two, have you explored 3D printing as an option for production versus the injection molding?
Yes. Okay, to answer your first question, we have about 5,000 cases total-ish, give or take some. And to answer your second question, yes, we've looked into 3D printing. I've called probably 24 3D printing companies around the country. You can do 3D printing, but because we are a polycarbonate material, which is one of the strongest and toughest materials out there, it's not up to scale with what we need. So we can do like prototypes, no problem, which is what you do before you actually produce the product. But right now we can't do it. I wish, because that would solve a lot of problems.
Hi, Arianna.
Hello.
We've had presentations in here from makers in the area. I mean, in the room we have people who have connections to making goat milk soap, and we have people who are mapping the world to save people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Why cell phone cases?
Why cell phone cases? So whenever I was in the hot tub on the 4th of July at a family get-together, I used to own an auto detailing business. Never carried a purse. Still really don't ever carry a purse because I'm always on the go and I don't want to have to worry about that one extra thing. I have enough to worry about already. And so I wanted a case that was an all-in-one case that could match my outfit, could slide in and out of my pocket easily without ripping my pocket out and didn't look like I had a purse in my pocket. And something that was made in America, and I could just put my cards in it, have all my emergency stuff, and go. And I didn't used to have cases. I would keep it in a Ziploc baggie next to the water, which helps but not protection if you drop it wise. So I told my mom I was going to invent one, and it's just the company and the brand that I've created, and that's our logo, Bo. If you look at the left side, is the logo, and the right side is actually his smiley face. So it is the product. It's just something I'm passionate about, and it's something that there's a huge market. I mean, $38 billion by 2017. Otterbox, I think last year did, don't quote me on this, I forget, $385 million. And it's just, it's something I'm passionate about and something people love. Did that answer your question?
Right over here. So you're looking for $200,000 from an investor.
Yes.
Tell me what you're offering for the $200,000 as part of the business and where the money is going to go to, as well as how you see that coming back to the investor in the future.
So that is not necessarily a loaded question, but it's kind of hard to answer without knowing several things. When I consider an investor, it has to be somebody who believes in what I'm doing and doesn't want me to give up a lot of what the company and the brand that we've built around is for. And so if it's an investor that has $200,000 and they don't want to help with, if they had experience with manufacturing or stuff like that, that would bring more value, I guess, to the company and help us get from A to Z instead of A to maybe part B. And so it depends on what the investor brings besides money, because it's not with me just about the money. Yeah, that helps, but and then also it goes back to the more value they bring, obviously the more percentage of the company or the product or whatever. It depends on how you can set up an investment. So it could be anywhere from 15% of the company or the products, or it could be up to 49%. It depends. Or it could go, who knows? Depends on how it's structured. Is that answer? That's a hard one to answer right now.
Hi. I have a couple questions. It sounds like these are only made for iPhones. Have you thought about expanding to
Yes.
Okay.
That's what part of the investment's for, is for the Samsung Galaxy S7.
Right. And then this is kind of intertwined. It sounded like you had some production issues.
Yes.
And producing only made in America seems like it might be a repeat of that. Is there any guarantees that you won't have production issues in the future, or what have you done to fix it?
No, there's no guarantee because that's part of manufacturing with anything. But yes, because I learned from what happened with the manufacturing, because I have engineer, I have a designer, but I am there testing the product, throwing it literally when it comes off the press, off the manufacturing machine, and test it and then, hey, let's go. So part is my fault because I don't know, it's not my industry, I'm learning as I go. which I think I've done an okay job, a decent job at, and I'm learning. But depending on the investor, they may be an injection mold engineering genius, something like that. So that will help. And plus, we didn't have agreements written out. We had verbal, which helps. But so that's something. Everything else, legal documents, I've mastered down, but I didn't do that one because when you're a smaller company and you do a single injection mold, manufacturers kind of own you in a sense because they don't have to do that for you. They can go get $1 million job versus a $100,000 job. So.
You mentioned Otterbox. I seem to recall Otterbox, I think, had bought out LifeProof. Is that right?
Yes,
or is it,
yes,
okay.
ma'am.
So what is the competitive? I have an Otterbox case and it sucks. I mean, it's torn up, and I'm going to go out and buy one of yours. But and I have used LifeProof, but they're kind of a pain to use, and I know they're completely waterproof. So what is I assume there's a competitive advantage of Bodacious. What is it if you had to compare it to what's out there?
Okay, so your question is, what's the difference? What is our competitive advantage to Otterbox and LifeProof, who is now Otterbox because LifeProof was bought by Otterbox? So let me ask you, what do you said Otterbox sucks. You said that, not me. What do you not like about your Otterbox? Okay, it's not durable. Okay. What else besides it's not durable? You don't like it? Too bulky.
It was convenient to buy because it happened to be there. I had a LifeProof case that I was testing, and that actually was quite nice.
Yeah.
But it's also a bit of a hassle for times that I'm not climbing a mountain or I don't need necessarily that full protection.
Right.
So for everyday protection, I may want something that's still durable because I'm going to drop it as much in inactivity as I am in activity, surprisingly. I think everybody's like that. So I don't want to be too careful with it. But on the other hand, I also need it to look professional, as that was one of your points that you had made. So
Joel's got a case for you. If you have a pocket, will you slide that in your pocket for me? Yeah. Is it easier? Does it feel less bulky than your Otterbox?
Oh, totally.
Yeah? Okay.
But
so that's one of our
it
competitive
looks
advantages.
nicer.
Huh?
It looks much nicer.
Looks much nicer. All right.
Well, it also has this integrated thing because I know everybody likes to use those little promotional items that you attach, but they're ugly. They don't stay on, and you can't fit very much in them. So.
All right. So you mostly just answered my question for me. That's why I was asking you. But so yes, to answer your question, our competitive advantages. I don't ever compare my product to other companies. I tell you what our product offers, and then let you be the judge. But our product is, in my opinion, very durable. It's water resistant. It's much sleeker, thinner, and easier to slide in and out of your pocket. It's made in America, which is, to me, very, very important, not only for several reasons, but because like my niece and nephews, I want them to have jobs, and I want them to get the idea, hey, don't give in. You can do anything that you want to. And but back to your question is, though you answered it. So.
Got a two-part question. If you do break up, not to be the Debbie Downer on it,
yes.
But one, do you have patents on your case designs? And if so, do you intend to license or possibly sell those to another manufacturer to start your next venture?
To answer your question, no, we are not patented. We are trademarked because the logo is the case. And bless you. And it is patent pending, and whenever we do the redesign, we're going to do patent pending, and who knows, we could get a patent for it, but it's very expensive, and being on a very short shoestring budget, being a startup, without outside investors, it makes it hard. So.
Cool. Arianna, thank you so much. Very informative presentation. So just remind us again, what can we as a community do for you?
Give me money. That's what you can do. Just to be honest. No, is just, if you guys know retailers, if you know people with money, everybody knows somebody with money, and that can bring value to the company. And if you know retailers, boutiques, small mom and pop businesses, people to Bass Pro, they are local, we have camo cases, and yeah. and just hope that we don't break up on a day that's supposed to be about love. Oh, yes. Hold on, one quick question. Yes.
There was somebody I remember you talking about with orange juice. One celebrity, they said their kid couldn't find their phone case.
Yes.
They couldn't lock their phone. Their kid was drinking orange juice and figured out it was a little story.
So real quick, I had about 2 years ago, somebody off American Idol that I'm very close with texted me and said him and his wife and his kids were eating breakfast and he didn't know where his phone went. Well, his daughter grabbed his phone in a bow case and dropped it in a cup of orange juice. It was fine. And then later that day, hey, you should leave that alone. Later that day, they dropped it in the wife's drink and spilt stuff on it, and it was fine. So we don't claim that it's waterproof because it's not. There's openings, but yeah. And this is my niece, Adeline.
Arianna, you're awesome. Thank you.
I got to take a selfie.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay, while you do
I
that.
learned to do it last year, and I was really disappointed.
This is getting up and talking about your story in front of people is tough enough, but when you face a challenge as real as Bodacious Cases challenge right now, it can be hard to do. So, Arianna, we appreciate you coming back and giving us an update. Thank you guys for coming out. One of the things I always think about is getting feedback from you guys as a community about 1 million cups. Like, I would love for 1 million cups to get up here out of 1 million cups and tell our story and our challenges and get feedback from you guys. So please go to our Facebook page. If you guys have input, ideas for how we can make this better, we're always looking for that. So this is all about you guys. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you next week.